These two men are sitting on a mountain of cash worth 12 billion rupees. You won't believe it. Every single bill was hand-drawn by them. Sunny takes a real bill and begins replicating it with a 0.5mm mechanical pencil on a blank sheet of paper. Every line, every dot is perfectly recreated in a 1-to-1 ratio. After hours of meticulous work, the template is complete. They then polish and chemically treat the template, creating a master plate for printing. Sunny tosses a stack of bills into a teacup, soaking them completely before pulling them out. The crisp, new bills now look worn and aged. They repeat the process, dunking all the bills into tea, hanging them on a clothesline to dry, and then using a hairdryer to finish the job. Why? Because these are freshly printed counterfeits, and aged bills are less likely to raise suspicion. To test the quality of their counterfeits, the duo heads to a local store. Farzi nervously hands the shopkeeper one of their fake bills, but the moment the owner takes it, he pauses. Farzi panics. Seeing the trouble, Sunny rushes forward, grabs Farzi, and pulls him away from the shopkeeper. In the chaos, the two manage to escape. They thought counterfeiting would be easy, but their first attempt was instantly spotted. How do you create the perfect counterfeit? Sunny starts to rethink their approach. They realize their first mistake. Indian currency uses a special cotton-based paper, which feels and sounds completely different from regular wood pulp paper. The texture and the crisp sound are key. Then there's the color-shifting ink. The ink changes color depending on the angle you view it. And finally, the security thread embedded in the bill. To create a high-quality counterfeit, they need to solve all these problems. To replicate the intricate details, every line and dot on the bill must be hand-drawn. Even the most advanced scanners in the world can't perfectly capture the micro-printed text without creating a moire pattern. So, they start by hand-drawing the design, then scaling it down and engraving it. But there's still the issue of the paper. The cotton-based paper is tightly controlled by the Indian government, so they can't get their hands on it. Instead, they search for a substitute. After days of searching, Sunny finally finds hope in an advertising brochure. They discover that by combining two sheets of paper, they can achieve a similar texture and thickness. They bleach the paper, print on both sides, add a security thread, and glue it together, creating a perfect sandwich structure for their counterfeit bills. The next challenge is the color-shifting ink. Farzi comes up with a solution, mixing metallic paint with ink to create a convincing effect. They then coat the bills with a layer of varnish to give them that crisp feel. Finally, they add the finishing touches. To test their new batch, they return to the same store. This time, they're smarter, holding hands to make a quick escape if needed. Sunny hands over the counterfeit bill, his heart racing. But this time, the shopkeeper accepts it without hesitation. In exchange, Sunny receives a bottle of soda and some change. Stunned, the two celebrate their success on a rickshaw ride home. They've finally done it. Now, it's time to turn their fake money into real wealth. Sunny approaches a local gang leader, borrowing two genuine 500 rupee bills. He places them on a table alongside one of their counterfeits, shuffles them, and challenges the gang leader to spot the fake. No matter how hard he looks, the gang leader can't find it. Even Sunny struggles to identify his own counterfeit. It's that good. Farzi suggests selling their counterfeits for a minimum of 100,000 rupees, but the gang leader offers them a deal, 20 million rupees. They were prepared to haggle, but they never expected their very first counterfeit sale to land them such a massive deal. Sunny accepts without hesitation. On the way home, Farzi is in shock. With their current setup, printing 100,000 rupees in 2 weeks would be a stretch. How can they possibly produce 20 million? Sunny turns to his uncle, who works at a printing press, and confesses everything. He asks for help in printing the counterfeits. His uncle thinks he's crazy. It's illegal after all. But Sunny takes him to a restaurant, ready to make his case. Sunny casually uses counterfeit money to pay the bill at the restaurant, leaving his uncle terrified. The uncle is on the verge of wetting his pants, fearing they'll be caught and pinned to the ground at any moment. But to their surprise, the owner doesn't notice anything unusual. The uncle is completely shocked and immediately changes his attitude, offering advice. He insists that printing 20 million rupees in counterfeit bills requires a much larger printing press. Sunny takes out a loan from a loan shark to buy a massive printing press, and even a washing machine to soak the bills in tea for aging. The only thing missing is the most crucial material, the special paper used for printing currency. This paper is strictly controlled by the Indian government, making it impossible to obtain through legal channels. So, they decide to take a shortcut. In a bold move, they raid a paper mill. To avoid raising suspicion, Sunny instructs his team to steal all types of paper, not just the specific kind they need. They load a truck full of paper and drive away. Back at the printing facility, Sunny and his team work day and night. 3 days later, they finish printing 20 million rupees in counterfeit bills. They pack the money in newspapers and deliver it to a construction site, where they hand it over to the buyer in exchange for 10 million rupees in real cash. This small team of just 3 people has managed to outsmart India's entire currency verification system. Their counterfeit bills are so high quality that they've become a favorite among criminal organizations. Even government officials are rumored to be buying their fake money. However, their success has attracted unwanted attention. A powerful criminal syndicate has set its sights on Sunny and Farzi. In India, 1 out of every 100 bills in circulation is counterfeit. These fake notes are so well made that even ordinary people can't tell the difference, and most machines can't detect them. To combat this, the Indian government upgrades its currency verification systems nationwide. Now, even a smartphone can easily identify counterfeit bills. Overnight, all of the counterfeit money becomes worthless. The government's investigation points to a man named Mansoor, who is now scrambling to figure out how to deal with the situation. If he doesn't act fast, his counterfeit bills will rot in storage. Mansoor's assistant hands him a 500 rupee note.
What? Is it fake?
When Mansoor runs it through the upgraded verification machine, he's shocked. It passes without a hitch. Soon they track down Sunny, and unfortunately, Farzi as well. Mansoor makes Sunny an offer. Join his team. Sunny would design the counterfeit bills, and Mansoor would handle the printing and distribution. Together, they'd be unstoppable. Sunny, unaware of the danger he's in, politely declines. But Mansoor isn't one to take no for an answer. He threatens to kill Sunny's grandfather unless he agrees. With no choice, Sunny reluctantly accepts. They're taken to Mansoor's counterfeit operation, where Sunny is tasked with designing a new counterfeit bill, this time a 2,000 rupee note. The 2,000 rupee note is one of the most complex currencies in the world. It features 14 different line patterns and 17 different fonts. Even the slightest mistake in replication would make it obvious that it's fake. In other words, counterfeiting this bill seems almost impossible. But Sunny has a different approach. The counterfeit doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to fool the machines. Mansoor's facility has everything Sunny needs. The same paper used in real currency, identical security threads, and even state-of-the-art intaglio printing machines. After dozens of attempts and improvements, their counterfeit bills finally pass the verification machines. Mansoor immediately orders his team to print 120 billion rupees in counterfeit money, ready to flood the Indian market. As the machines roll, one fake bill after another is produced. These counterfeits are so advanced that they're no longer just fake money. They're practically real. But just before the operation kicks off, the police arrest one of Mansoor's key lieutenants, who reveals the smuggling routes. The authorities quickly shut down these routes, seizing billions of counterfeit rupees. Left with no other option, Mansoor decides to move the operation by sea. A decommissioned cargo ship carries 120 billion rupees in counterfeit bills. Sunny rents the ship, which is supposedly headed to India for scrapping, and fills 3 entire containers with the fake money. But just as the ship approaches Indian waters, Sunny receives a call warning him to turn back. Indian police have launched a surprise inspection at the port, and arriving now would be suicide. They have no choice but to abort the mission. However, the captain refuses to turn around. The ship doesn't have enough fuel for the return trip, and they're in deep waters, unable to anchor. Desperate, the captain comes up with a risky plan. Head to Mumbai, where the waters are shallow enough to dump the containers. They can retrieve them later under the cover of darkness. Sunny quickly organizes a team to attach trackers to the containers. One by one, the containers are thrown overboard and sink to the ocean floor. The crew then abandons the ship, leaving it to drift unmanned toward a crowded beach. Bystanders film the bizarre scene as the ship crashes onto the shore. This bizarre incident quickly catches the attention of the police. However, after a thorough search, they find nothing suspicious on the ship. Meanwhile, Sunny's team retrieves the containers from the shallow waters near Mumbai, loads them onto trucks, and hides them in a warehouse. Inside these containers are 120 billion rupees in counterfeit bills. Bills so advanced that they can pass every verification machine in India. The police dub them supernotes. Sunny has successfully smuggled 120 billion rupees into India, but little does he know, this money is about to become a major liability. This story covers episodes 1 through 6 of Farzi Season 1. If you want to see what happens next, drop a 1 in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.